Thank you, sir. May I now request Shri Sudhir Mehta, Chairman of Pinnacle Industries, to offer his words of advice to our graduating students.
A very good evening, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Ajeenkya Patil, President, Vice Chancellor, and the amazing team of Ajeenkya DY Patil University for the honor bestowed on me. Thank you so much. And it's been a privilege for me to be associated with the Innovation University that Ajeenkya DY Patil University has come to be known as. First of all, let me start by congratulating all the young people today for the graduation. This is indeed a very, very special day. You are part of a generation which unfortunately had to go through the COVID pandemic. None of us imagined what the world would be 2 years ago and what has changed in the last 2 years. But I think let me start with first the positive news. The positive news is that the worst is behind us and we have overcome. The last 2 years have been incredibly difficult for all of us, and especially for students who missed out on the best part of the education, which is to be together, which is to be engaging with each other, which is to be spending time in networking, in working together on projects, on learning together as a community. And I'm sure as we move forward, now that our country is vaccinated, now that we have made sure that our medical facilities are fully capable of handling any such crisis, the situation will be very, very normal as far as the new normal is concerned moving forward. Let me lay out before the young people the wonderful opportunity that's there before you. First of all, I think the last 2 years enabled all of us to realize that education need not be physical, and education is something which is lifelong. So one of the learnings that all of you have had is that online education is possible. One is able to take advantage of learning irrespective of location, irrespective of university, or irrespective of subject. And I think that's something that we will all be able to carry forward and learn from. So no longer is it going to be very important whether you are doing an education in physics. It's equally now possible to be doing courses in literature at the same time from any corner of the world. And I think this is something which is going to be with us and something that all of you will enjoy. Second part of it is the opportunity that we all face in India. India today is a country which is full of possibilities. All of us are aware that back in the 1700s, we used to be almost a quarter of the world's economy. And for 200 years, because of the situation we had with the British, we fell down and we were less than 6 to 7% of the economy. But now we have the opportunity, the possibility, and indeed the ability to be able to take on the world. And I think all of you as young people, the best of what we will see in India is in front of you. To be in India at the moment is like to be a kid in a candy store. There is so many opportunities, there is so many possibilities that all of you will have to decide which one of those to pick up so that you are able to move forward. I want to leave you with 3 thoughts that I believe that you should be looking at in terms of the opportunities before you. First is the power of technology. I think India has, again, the opportunity to lead in this very important direction. I think several of the speakers earlier spoke about how the environment is going to be a major issue, how sustainability will be a major issue, how all of these areas will need to change in the future. And again, since you have all studied in a university which is so much focused on innovation, the challenge that and the opportunity that you will have is to really be the technology creators of the future. And I would encourage all of you, I would challenge all of you to look at not just being part to be the job creators of the future. In India, as one of our challenges, we will need to create the jobs of tomorrow. And all of you have the necessary skills, have the necessary backgrounds to become the job creators of the future. So my request to all of you is, this is the age to take risks. This is the age to learn. This is the age to take on new opportunities. And I'm sure many of you will become the future leaders of tomorrow. The second point that I want to raise is, I think all the COVID pandemic has taught all of us that it's not important to be in our own cocoons. We need to be part of the community. Today, the challenges before our country, the world, are so important that they can only be solved if we come together as a community to take these challenges on. The COVID crisis is a perfect example of how communities have come together and really faced this crisis. I want to tell you one story as part of the COVID pandemic. We have this Pune platform for COVID response, where we have been working across Pune on and across the country on medical issues. Somewhere in October of last year, I got a message on social media through Twitter, and this happened to be a 12-year-old girl, which was from Canada. And she had seen the crisis of the pandemic in India and offered to raise money through social media for buying of oxygen concentrators. And within a space of 3 days, this young girl raised about $800 from Canada, sent that money to us, and we were able to help get this help to the needy within the space of 48 hours. This is the power of technology. This is the power of global good. This is the power that young people can have. And I think this is just one small example of the impact that all of you can have in your communities. Our cities, all of the community around us will need all of the support of all of you, because our country is too important just to be left only to the bureaucrats, only to be left to the politicians. Civic society will need to have its rightful role in ensuring that the cities of the future that we want, the country that we all want, we are all involved with. Another area that all of you will have the opportunity to frame is really not just to make an impact in India, but to make an impact overseas. One of the other challenges and opportunities that the pandemic has thrown up is that it has shown that no longer do you need to be in one location to be able to work in another. The IT industry today has become absolutely virtual. We have opportunities all around the world. And the IT services industry, you must have recently seen out of the top 4 companies, 3 are from India. Similar opportunities will happen in areas like healthcare, which will become to a great extent virtual. They will happen in many, many sectors of the economy, which will allow those of us sitting in smaller towns to be able to make an impact anywhere in the world. And again, I would encourage all of the young people today who are very tech savvy to take advantage of these opportunities and to look at what they are able to do in these areas. Lastly, I want to say that the opportunity that all of you have is much greater than any of us have had, because after, in the post-pandemic world, the complete growth in the next 10 to 15 years, India will lead the growth. By all indicators, we will be the fastest growing economy in the world. And we have the opportunity to take our rightful place in the economy. And I'm sure all of you will contribute towards that. So I wish you all the best of luck. I wish you all great success. Please remember that life has to be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. The best is in front of you, and I'm sure you will take advantage of that. Thank you so much.